I'm originally from Chicago, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the south side of Chicago.
Detroit, Chicago. Where'd you, and you say you grew up there?
Well, I grew up there. I was born and raised in Chicago on the south side, and then I came up, I came out here to Los Angeles when I was 12.
Okay.
When I was 12
Tell me about your family. You had both parents?
I did, but that was the reason I came to Los Angeles, because my father moved to Los Angeles the year I was born. You understand? So he had been out here, and I had lived in Chicago. So I used to visit back and forth about when I was 5 years old. My story was kind of like the Boys in the Hood story, where he went to live with his dad and shit like that. So I was fucking up in Chicago. Mom couldn't really handle it, so she moved me to Los Angeles. You know what I mean? When I was about 12.
And how would you describe your childhood?
I thought my childhood was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I was broke like everybody else. My mom was a beautician. You know what I mean? She did hair out the kitchen. You know what I mean? But
what part of Chicago?
The south side. I was on the south side of Chicago. You know what I mean?
Not like the west side of the Bishop.
Well, not on the west side. I've, you know, been out there and stuff like that. They're a little more rougher out there, but they got some rougher areas out that way. You know what I mean? But the south side was, it was cool. You know what I mean? My mom raised me right. I was the only child to my mother. You know what I mean? So she raised me right and was real keen on education.
Does he have, wait, his shirt says PNutty To Pimp, and it has his P chain that he's currently wearing right now.
My mom was real keen on education. She didn't like me to play with guns. You know, instead of like if I had a gun, even a water gun or something, she'd take it and replace it with a book. You know what I mean? That's the type of mom I had. So, you know what I mean? She did what she had to do. It was times I came home and the lights.
I do understand what he means this time.
Lights was off and the heat might have been off or stuff like that, but we made the best out of it. You know what I mean? But I also grew up being that my mom was a beautician. When she did work in beauty salons, I worked around a lot of women. My mom would call me down there to sweep up. I was the one that sweep up the hair and stuff like that. But that also put me around a lot of women. You know, at a young age, I started studying women and learning women and being around women. And I think that had a lot to do with who I became later on in life.
No pimps in the family or anything like that?
You know, everybody think they're a pimp in some kind of way. You know what I mean? Everybody think they got a little bit of pimping. So I had some cousins and stuff like that that might have got a little money out of a female here and there and might have thought they was some pimping, but it was a few pimps in my area, you know what I mean, that caught my attention. You know what I mean?
Anybody show you the ropes?
No. I didn't get that till way later on in life. I didn't get the game until later on in life. You know what I mean? I tried to figure it out when I was about 15. I tried to figure it out because I had a girl, but she was a dope fiend actually. But she was bringing me money. She kept bringing me money, and that's when it clicked in my head, like, man, maybe I can do something here. But I didn't have it figured out. I didn't know exactly what I was supposed to do. And then I had a girlfriend that had a gang of trick appeal. You know what I mean? She had just tremendous trick appeal. And then she had a friend who was living with her, and we was all at the Motel 6. I was about 16 by this time, and we was all at the Motel 6, and I kept telling them, man, I can show y'all how to get a lot of money, I can show, but I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. I didn't know what to tell them, because they kept saying to me, like, well, what? Tell us, how can we get the money? And I was like, don't even worry about it, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you the game, I didn't have no game to give them, I didn't know what the fuck to tell them, you know what I mean? And what ended up happening was I came to Los Angeles, and I went to school out here, I went to West.
The way men view women makes me sick. Bro, you think this is indicative of how, like, all men view women? Like, are you crazy? Like, this dude started pimping at the age of 15. Like, you think that's, like, the average male experience? Like, are you crazy, dude? Don't not all men us? I mean, it's not even a not all men moment. Like, this is, guys, this is like a very unique situation, okay? Yeah, there's a lot of fucking misogyny involved in a patriarchal system. But if you're looking at literally, like, if you're looking at a pimp who started pimping at the age of 15, and you're like, oh man, men make me sick. This is exactly how men feel about women. It's like, well, dude, that's a little bit different, you know? We agree to talk about women like this on the men conference. Man, there's a lot of men who have real sad views on women. Kind of hard, in my opinion, not to meet men who don't have issues with women. Doesn't compare to the pimp, though. Yeah, it's like, it's a bit different than, you know, the average male experience, I think.
Westchester High School coach.
To be honest, a lot of dudes think they view women this way and act like this. You know, a lot of dudes who think they're pimps and act this way. Like a lot. I don't think you know more than one dude, max. I don't even think all pimps are the same. Like, I don't even think all pimps view women the same way. You know what I mean? I mean, it's by nature of the job. I assume they're like, you know, probably not very up to date with respect to, you know, feminism and all, but you know what I'm saying?
City high school, stuff like that.
Hashtag
and
not
I
all
ended up
pimp.
going to jail. And when I went to jail, I started reading all the books. I started reading all the books that I'm sure every pimp around the country has read or wants to read or knows about. I started reading all the Donald Goin books and the Iceberg Slim books, who's one of my mentors, Iceberg Slim. And I figured it out.
Actually, Iceberg Slim, unironically, is a good example of how pimps are not a fucking monolith, dude. Wasn't Iceberg Slim kind of a communist? He was, wasn't he? Or was he not? I can't remember. If there's a chatter trying to bait you and their name is all numbers, do not click their profile. Twitch apparently has a massive exploit that lets people IP grab you somehow. What? Do gyms require masks again? Yes. They're using an IPv6 like usernames and have an embed in their profile card that gets your IP. What? On LSF, I'm not smart enough to fully understand. Heads up, there's people using IPv6 IP addresses as usernames on Twitch. If you see one of these, just report. Do not go onto the page. The panels have an extension that show your IP address. How to report without going on the page. Do twitch.tv/username/report and then replace the username. There's a Twitch account by the name of the Twitch Authority who's been going around and leaking IP addresses of streamers on stream for various Discord servers. If you see a follower with a suspicious name, please report this. Should I click on it? Chat, stop adding them, dude. Every time you add him, he snatches your IP. Fuck! That's a 7-month sub. It's not them. What if it was a fucking 7-month operation? Or rather, what if they've been subscribing for 7 months because they always wanted to avoid the ad breaks at the top of the hour that are coming right now, and the only way to avoid those ad breaks are by subscribing, either with a $5 subscription or with a free one. Think about that. Think. Yeah. What if that's the reason why he's a 7-month subscriber? Because for 7 months, he's like, I don't want to fucking see the ads that are coming at the top of the hour. I want an ad-free broadcasting experience, and that's why I use my Twitch Prime here, because that's a free way to avoid that. Or what if they use an ad blocker or VPN? I don't know, but here's the fucking ad break now. There's a female.
And when I came home from jail, I didn't want to be nothing but a full-fledged pimp. And when I was about 20 years old when I first had my first hoe. They put me in a halfway house
of Gucci.
They put me in a halfway house right here on Crenshaw and West Boulevard. It was called Help Is On The Way. And when I got there, it was a bunch of bitches there. It was a co-ed. It was a co-ed facility. And when I got there, I was trying to pick through the bitches, you know what I mean? Like which bitch I like, you know, and I was fresh out of jail, I had muscles, I was young, hung, handsome, holding hoes for ransom, and I was ready, you know what I mean? And I was looking, and none of the bitches was really, you know what I mean, what I was looking for, you know what I mean? And it was a dude in there that I said, man, these all the bitches you got in here? It was about 8 or 9 bitches, you know? And he said, well, it's one more. He said, but you probably ain't gonna like her. He said, she's a little short, fat bitch. I said, well, where's she at? He said, she's not here. She's never here, bro. I think they're gonna kick her out soon because she's always leaving and stuff like that. Well, she fucked around and popped up. And she was a hoe. And that's why she hadn't been there, because she had been leaving, going, you know, selling pussy, being in the streets or whatever. And when she came home, she recognized me. At this time, I had fingernails and I had a finger wave, and you could just look at me and tell I was some pimping, you know? And
this game sucks. You play Orcs Must Die 3. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is Orcs Must Die 3? We're learning about pimping right now, Soda. Soda Poppin'. We're learning about fucking pimping right now, okay?
me and her, it ended up
Not easy, but it's necessary. Which is why I'm chasing bitches like Tom chased Jerry. I'm gangster as fuck. I'm the most pimped out person ever.
conversating and we got tight. And I showed the bitch my photo album and shit, the little bullshit photo album I had put together, right? And I asked her to do my hair. And she brought me in the
Soda Poppin', more like Soda Pimpin', am I right? Fucking got him, dude.
female's cottage. And I wasn't
Okay, everybody got that. Never mind.
to be in the female's cottage, you know what I mean? And it was just me and her, and she was in there doing my hair. And she had a big-ass tattoo on her neck, right? She had a big tattoo on her neck, and it said some shit that I couldn't understand, especially, you know, when you tattoo shit in cursive, you can't really understand what it says. But while she's leaning over me, because she's right here leaning over me doing my hair, so when she leans over me, I say, well, baby, what does that say on your neck? It had a bag of money and a money sign and some more shit, but I couldn't read the cursive. And she said, oh, that was my ex's name. And I said, well, what does it say? Because I can't read it. She said, it says Mr. Mister. I said, Mr. Mister. Now you gotta understand, at this time, I'm on fire for the pimping. I mean, everything pimping is just, I'm into it, right? So I know that name, and I said, Mr. Mister. I said, I only know one Mr. Mister. I said, and the only Mr. Mister I know, he didn't have no girlfriends. And she said, no, I wasn't his girlfriend. I said, so we talking about the Mr. Mister from Hollywood, the briefcase Mr. Mister, Rolls Royce Mr. Mister. She said, yeah. I said, oh, you some hoeing? I said, oh, bitch, you know what I'm saying? We got some things to talk about. So me and the bitch get to talking, and then, well, one of the people came home and was—
Bro, this Ash is holding on for dear life. Look at this. This guy sets up these interviews, doesn't even give him a fucking ashtray, dude. Look at that. That is the longest. That's so much ash, dude.
was like, Lil' Kim, why you got her in this why you got him in this cottage? He ain't supposed to be up in here. We need to have a meeting. And they had a big old meeting, and long story short, they kicked her out for having me in the meeting. And then I got into a fight with some guys there because I'm sitting there arguing with them about what's going on, trying to say, hey, she was just doing my hair and blah, blah, blah. We ended up fighting. We both got kicked out. We didn't have nowhere to go. She had a big ass bag of clothes, and I didn't have but a couple clothes because I just got out of jail. And long story short, we ended up on the bus. We took the bus tokens we had and we went to Sunset Boulevard, you know what I mean? And that was the first Blade that I worked. I was 20 years old. We got out on Sunset and La Brea.
Okay, so now we know Blade means the street. That's what pimps call the street. And they make their workers work the street, like walk the street. That's walking the Blade.
And I was green as a pool table. You know what I mean? I didn't know nothing, but
You can ash on the floor.
Yeah, but I didn't want to let her know that I was green, right? Because she had just got out of prison and she had been hoeing. Now, I was 20, she was 22 at the time. And I said, ooh, the bus let us off on Hollywood. We was on the 212. It let us off on Hollywood Boulevard. So when we got up there, I said, ooh, baby, maybe we could do something up here. And she said, well, Daddy, this shit ain't been cracking since the 80s. And I felt stupid, right? I didn't know where to take the bitch to, right? I'm like, damn, I don't even know where to go. But I said, I can't let the bitch know that I don't know where to take her to, right? So we walked down to La Brea and shit. We walked down to La Brea and Sunset and we went in the bathroom. And she said, I'm finna go get ready. And the bitch was bald-headed. She had she was white girl. So she, you know, when white people shave their hair short, it's like fuzzy. She had like a little fuzzy thing. But she had a long bang right here, right? And she just looked a little frumpy. But when she went in the bathroom and came out, man, she was transformed. She had her makeup on, she had her earrings on, she had a long dress on with the slit down the middle. She had put on some heels that she had in her bag. They was like some wedges. But what really fucked me up about it was she put a scarf on her head, right? And it was tied in a knot in the back, and she had the one bang hanging out. So it gave off the appearance as if she had hair, but she really didn't, right? But she was gorgeous. But what I liked about her is while she was in the bathroom.
Girls on the Blade talking to other pimps is mad disrespect to other pimps. Dude, why do you know so much, Romy Rome? What the fuck do you need to tell us, dude? 17-month subscriber, Romy Rome, dude.
Dressing up, another white girl came in, and I was talking to her at the table. And when Lil' Kim came out and seen me talking to the white girl, she didn't interrupt me, she didn't bother me, she did nothing. She looked, I looked at her, and she walked right on La Brea. So the bitch I was talking to, she was bullshit. She turned out to be some bullshit, right? She was trying to tell me how she seen Queen Latifah down the street at the club PNutty and all that bullshit. So anyway, it was a gay club. So anyway, I went outside and waited on the bus stop. And I watched Lil' Kim, and I watched her. She was over there on like Martell Street or something. And I'm watching her, and I seen her flag a car down, or a car came up to her, and I watched her walk up to the car and shit. You know, this shit's new to me. I ain't never did it. I done read about it, heard about it, talked about it, but this is the first time I'm doing this shit. So I see her, and boom, she gets in the car, and the car drives off. And I don't know at that moment if I'm ever gonna see the bitch again. I got all her bags, I got all my bags. Man, about 7, 8 minutes later, the car pulled back up. She got out fixing her shit. Back then, we had payphones, so I walked across to the payphone. I was acting like I was on the payphone, but I really wasn't. I had no money for the goddamn payphone. I jumped on the payphone. She walked up to me. I said, how much you got? She said, I got 75. I said, give it to me. Boom. She gave me the money. I went down the street. I tried to get a room at the Days Inn. I didn't have enough. So they said, go across the street. I went to this little bullshit room across the street on Highland and Sunset. And I took all our bags and carried them in there. I remember telling that story to one of my older pimp partners later on. He said, what you was doing carrying the bitch bags, pimping? You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to let the bitch carry the bags, pimping. But you know, I
don't understand the value added by pimps anymore. Like, what value are they adding? Is it protection or something? I think, like, maybe back in the day there was, like, protection and shit, but I feel like there's... like, it's like a manager. Russell Westbrook to the Lakers? I don't know what the fuck that means, dude. We're learning about pimps right now, Chris.
I said, I'm green, I know, right? So I'm carrying the bags and shit, and I take it and put it in the room, and she went right back out. And all that night, she just kept coming in, 50s, 100s, 50s, 100s. She just worked, you know? And she was just so fucking trained, you know? You could tell she really represented Mr. really, really well, you know? And that's what a hoe translates to other pimps and people around the world. When she comes and she's trained and she's laced like that, and she says, oh, I just came from PNutty to Pimp, or I was with PNutty to Pimp, blah, blah, blah. You can see that she got some good instructions and some good game from that person because she was so fucking trained that it was amazing. I mean, I remember when we rode up there, we were on the bus, and a preacher jumped on the back of the bus, and he seen that we was in distress, and he started talking, and he was like, yeah, you believe in God? Have you ever been saved? And I'm talking to him like, yeah, all that shit, good. And she's looking out the window. So he looked at me, said, is this your girl? I said, yeah. So he says, hey, young lady, you know, I just want to talk to you about, you know, your life and things like that, and are you okay, and blah, blah, blah. And she just kept looking out the window. So she's ignoring him. I'm embarrassed. I don't know why she's not talking to him, right? So he's steady talking to her, and she's not talking, so he looks at me, confused. He says, hey, she don't talk? I said, I don't think she's feeling too good right now. But I don't really know why the fuck she's not talking, right? Well, come to find out what she's doing is she's being in pocket. She's being a good hoe. Hoes don't talk to nobody but tricks, they daddy, and maybe the clerk at the goddamn Burger King. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. And she went right in pocket. She said, I'm finna fuck with you. I'm not finna talk to nobody. I don't give a fuck if he's the preacher or who he is. I'm not talking to nobody. My green ass, I didn't even know that that's what was supposed to be happening. You know what I mean? But, you know, as I learned and I talked to her and we got to talking, and I remember one time I was riding down the street and I was so happy to have a hoe. You know what I mean? I remember I was riding down the street with my friends, and I had went and got some of my friends, my square friends, and I said, man, I got a hoe, I'm on Sunset Boulevard, I got a room, take me back up there, blah, blah, blah. And they took me back, and as I was going down Sunset Boulevard, she just happened to be walking down the street. So now it's time for me to show off. So I'm riding in the car, and I say, hey, look, that's the bitch right there, that's my hoe. I'm hollering out the window, Kim.
What's the point in fucking lighting a cigarette if you're just not gonna smoke it? This guy just keeps fucking lighting them up and then never puffing on it. It's real Sigma energy right there.
Kim. No. I start off, I say, hey, little mama. She just keep walking. So now I'm getting a little embarrassed with my friends because I'm, you know, she's ignoring me, right? So I'm like, hey, baby girl, you sure looking good. She keep walking. So now I'm mad. So I'm like, Kim, little Kim. She turned around. I said, bitch, I know you hear me calling you. She said, oh, daddy, I'm so sorry. She said, but you know what? I just got with you. She said, I haven't trained myself to learn your voice yet. She said, because I don't want to hear nobody else's voice but yours. So I'm just learning your voice. So I heard you calling me, but I didn't know if you was just another pimp trying to call me or what. You know what I mean? But I won't let that happen again.
What do you think the basis is of that dedication that these females will have to their pimp? Because I've heard it many times where they give them all their money. They do everything they can for him.
Well, it's vice versa. Because I do everything I can for them, too. You understand what I'm saying?
And there's so many things that are misunderstood about this game.
It's a whole lot of things misunderstood. But the thing is, real pimps have long since stopped trying to explain this to the outside world. You understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, I was just reading something the other day where they said trying to explain this game to a square is like trying to teach a blind man colors. You understand what I'm saying? It's just not gonna happen. They're never gonna understand it. They'll never understand why she does these things and comes.
Bro, I don't think it's that difficult to understand, dude. Seems pretty cut and dry. You find vulnerable women, and then you know, take advantage of their vulnerability. And just like get them to have sex with people for money, and you pay for the room, and then you take most of the money, if not all the money, and then you offer them like somewhat of a blanket of protection because you don't know if the Johns are going to be fucking abusive or not. You also protect them from other pimps that might like come in and kidnap them or fuck them over. Worse than you are fucking them over.
Comes back and gives you all her money. But even square women, I mean, maybe with the exception of Oprah, you know what I mean, are bad money managers. I've had women tell me. That's why I'm so confident in.
I like that he said not all women, you know, because Oprah exists. But like every other woman is bad with money. I like that. He's just like, you know, he has a very straightforward worldview. He's just like, women are bad with money. They need me to manage their money for them. Except for Oprah.
Saying it on your show. Women have told me I can't manage money for shit.
Valkyrie Cow, stop showing this video. This isn't okay, even if you push against it. Pimps are human traffickers. Don't idolize them or think they're cool. Dude, calm down, dude. I don't think anybody in here is like, oh man, it's so sick. It's so sick that these guys are like beating the shit out of and also trafficking women that are in like really dire situations. Man, that's fucking tight, dude.
Shit, when I get money, I do this. I mean, square women, white women all around the United States, black women, they're not that great with money. You have your exceptions, but they're not that great. Men think different, you know what I mean? So I'm an exceptional money manager. You know what I mean? I don't do drugs. I don't have habits except.
Thanks for sharing the videos, bro. Just got back with my first hoe poggers.
These fucking cigarettes, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna take that money that you can make way better than I can, because I can't walk down the boulevard and catch a date. I'm just not that cute. You know what I'm saying? It just don't.
Yeah, I wonder if that chatter thinks that, like, I mean, we've been watching murderers like nonstop on this broadcast for like almost a month now. Like, do you think that that's not bad? Yo, can you please stop platforming murder, dude? It's actually very fucked up. Not just murders, but like the worst murders of modern history. Yeah, literally.
Work like that for me. I can take my shirt off. I can do all that. People are not going to stop. Women can walk down the street and actually have a man pull up and say, God damn, you're gorgeous. How much?
What gives a girl trick appeal, as you call it?
I think it's a certain sexiness that they have. You know what I mean? It's a certain sexiness, because she doesn't have to be the most beautiful woman. I've taken women and transformed them because I understand, first of all, I understand how men think, okay? And I think that's a very, very key element to.
I say that's true and false, because some women are raised in a good environment and had a good job like a dental assistant and would rather have a manager as a sex worker, i.e. a pimp. I mean, there's pimps and then there's pimps. Sex work is also not like always the same. You know what I mean? I feel like these dudes and the prostitutes that they work are in a very different situation than, like, you know, a porn star with a manager. Even though from what I understand, porn management is also very, very fucking scummy and sketchy. Or at least according to the porn stars I've talked to. How come the example of a good job for a woman is a dental assistant? I think that person I think that person was just, you know, using a very specific example. And not like, you know, Thanks for promoting pimping. Actually, Justin Sunset waiting for PNutty the pimp. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, good luck, dude.
To knowing, to being in this profession, okay? We are, as men, visual creatures. We thrive off what we see. You know, we can watch a porno movie and get aroused, as where a female can read a poem or a book and become aroused. They're more mentally stimulated. You understand? So now we know that we're catering to the visual side of men. So now what we have to do is make her look.
By the way, if you hate pimps, like, decriminalize prostitution. Actually, a lot of places that decriminalize prostitution still make pimping illegal. But if women have access, and men that want to do sex work, have access to, you know, materials that will protect them, websites they can go to, things of that nature, communicate with one another freely, have like payment processors that won't fucking eliminate them from the platform the moment that they realize that they're doing sex work, then they won't have to rely on a cash-only business with a pimp to offer protection. What was it called? Like Pink Umbrella or something? There's like networks that sex workers used to rely on and use to communicate like bad clients and whatnot to one another. And they can't do that anymore because Sesta Fosta fucking yeeted all those platforms. Like, but now it's just like less safe for people to do sex work.
Visually appealing to men. You understand what I'm saying? So they always say, why your girls out there half naked? You know, they say, oh, that must be one of PNutty's bitches because she's half naked. You understand what I'm saying? Well, I know what stops them. I know what.
OnlyFans about to drop sex workers to go legit? Yeah, right, dude. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I heard Pornhub is also doing that. I heard OnlyFans is dropping sex work and they're going legit. Sex work is legit, first of all. And same with Pornhub. Yeah.
What stops the tricks? I know what makes them stop. Shit, we got squares and square bitches and shit riding there like, oh my God, is her ass out? Is that her pussy? Da-da-da. But they're stopping. They want to talk to her. You know, he's on his way to work and he see all that ass. He's like, God damn, wait, hold hey, don't do bust a U-turn. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, back to your original question.
Bro, the only article I've seen on this is basically just seeking 1 billion evaluation may get rid of sex work. And it's a report from World Star Hip Hop. Or not World Star Hip Hop, hotnewhiphop.com. The site is known for its adult entertainment, but it's reported that they're considering switching things to attract advertisers. I mean, it just feels like kind of a dumb thing to do. It's like literally their main fucking source of revenue. And a really good one, to be honest. Like, it's awesome. It's fucking dope, dude. It's one of the best ways that sex workers can maintain autonomy. It's sick. Like, if you hate OnlyFans, then you just straight up hate sex work. Like, as far as the ethics of like OnlyFans goes, it's probably like one of the most ethical ways that you can engage in sex work. It's just an incredibly good thing. $10 a month for hottest girls naked? What? Sex workers, it's a lot of e-girls who don't have real world skills. Dude, you're a fucking Twitch chatter. What kind of real world skills do you have? You're watching another dumbass with very little real world skills, okay? And not only that, but like, who cares if they don't have any real world skills? Oh my God, they don't know how to fucking, like, you know, cook a Big Mac. Like whip up a Big Mac at McDonald's. Oh shit, dude. Fuck. What is your take on sex work, Hasan? I love sex work. I think it's great. Most of you love sex work and think it's great. Or, well, don't think it's great, but you love sex work. You just don't like either A, paying for it, or B, respecting the people that do it. Everybody loves jerking off to porn, but when it comes down to, like, you know, treating the people that fucking go out and make this wonderful thing for you to jerk off to, it's like, oh, nope, never mind. Fuck that. Not cool. If they ever do get rid of it, the next platform with the same business model that shows up still accepting sex work will just get a lot of traffic. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've seen some women upset about their advertising the young women to get them to do sex work when they aren't mentally prepared for it. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Who's doing that? Not really autonomy. They basically a gig worker. The website takes 20% of every purchase. Okay. Like, that's like saying, I mean, I'm a gig worker for fucking Twitch, but the amount of autonomy that I have over my own work is tremendous in comparison to working under someone else. Same shit. Also, whenever people say like sex work is not real work, there's no skill. It's like, dude, I'm not gonna fucking jerk off to you. You know what I mean? Who the fuck is cranking it out to you, dude? Do you believe OnlyFans is a gateway drug to real sex work? What the fuck does that even mean? OnlyFans is real sex work. Dudes that talk about sex work like Hasanabi does are the only ones that end up getting free porn from creators? What do you mean? I think TikTok's influenced young people into believing that sex work is really easy, but it's really draining and difficult. I mean, yeah, it certainly is. Most jobs are. Sex work is no different. It might even have additional issues. A lot of those issues could be eliminated if, you know, sex workers could, 1, work with regular payment processors. 2, be able to fucking put their money into banks. 3, not get fucking scrutinized every step of the way. 4, not get fucking murdered for doing their jobs. You would eliminate like 90% of the problems that sex workers endure if you were to understand that it's just work. Wonderful work too. A question, would you respect your mom or sister if they did sex work? Want to know? Yeah, why the fuck wouldn't I? Only if they're fucking good. Yeah, I don't have a sister. I don't think my mom would ever do sex work, but why wouldn't I? I hope they're, you know, I hope they're happy and I hope they're doing well. Yeah, I would respect it if they were fucking killing it. If they weren't, then I'd be like, dude, what are you doing? Dude, you're not making money off this, dude. What the fuck? There are a fuck ton of other professions that I would legitimately have a much harder time dealing with if any of my like relatives were doing it than sex work. How would you respond to people who say, would you want your daughter to do it? She wants to do sex work. If I have a daughter one day and she wants to do sex work, then she wants to do sex work. What am I gonna do? Stop them from doing it? What? Like, I don't control their body. What kind of psychotic take is this, dude? Especially because, like, when you think about it, it's like, dude, they're fucking caked up. They're making a fuckload of money. Great. Is it weird if I don't want my girlfriend doing it? I mean, it's up to you, man. Maybe it's not the right relationship. Clutch laugh, almost believable. Try harder. Dude, this seems a bit like a self-report there. BB_cutie. Seems like you're a little uncomfortable by this. So you just don't. It's so funny because, like, half the people literally are like, dude, you should start a OnlyFans. Like, always, right? They always tell me I should start a fucking OnlyFans. And then the moment where, like, a woman is doing an OnlyFans that's a relative, you're like, wait a minute, hold up. I would never want that to happen. That's fucking bullshit. It's like, okay, maybe you just have a problem with women doing it then? I don't know. No one says that? You think, let me fucking keyword search OnlyFans. Let's see how many times it was mentioned just today. You must be new here if you think that people don't fucking ask me to do OnlyFans all the time. We had to ban it for a while. The only problem I see with sex work, and it's not even really a problem, but the only thing I think could be fucking bad is if you're like a parent and then kids at school find out. I feel like that would be like really fucked up for the kid. They would just like constantly be brutal about it. You know what I mean? That'd be hard to recover from. And it's like kind of up to them. Like it's the issue is with like dumbass kids being dumbasses, but it already happened in Reddit post. Yeah, that shit was fake, dude. Get the fuck out of here. But still, you're only seeing the sex workers that make a lot of money. There are a lot that were led to believe it's easy money that make next to nothing. Well, that's life in the big city. Like, same could be said about entertainment. And if your counter to that is like, well, your life is now ruined because you did sex work, then it's like, yeah, we're in agreement. Your life shouldn't be ruined if you do sex work. I think you should be able to switch in and out of sex work as easily as you want. Like, nobody would be like, oh my God, you were a massage therapist, dude? What the fuck? Ew, you can't, you literally are not allowed to be a paralegal now. Like, no one would say that. Kill me? My mom is Lana Rhodes. I get that all the time. Dude, I would love to fuck your mom. Massage therapy is considered sex work? No. My point is, there's no stigma associated with certain jobs that could even be like more physical in nature than some types of sex work where you're just like fucking putting up nudes of yourself on the internet. You know what I mean? But there is no stigma associated with that. So your job opportunities are not limited when you do jobs like that. Anyway, let's get back to fucking big pimping, okay?
Okay, so now you making all this money. But at the end of the day, you don't have a room, you just went and bought a bunch of makeup, you got your nails done, you got some heels, you look beautiful, but you don't have a car. You're not getting anywhere. You're not going anywhere with this hustle, and this shit is not gonna last forever. You're not gonna be beautiful forever. I'm not gonna be.
Imagine if it was your sister or mom doing sex work, how would you feel? I don't know. I wouldn't feel any differently about it. Like, I already said that. Like, you keep asking the same question over and over again. Like, why do you think I have control over what my fucking family members do just because they're women? Same with my brother. If that's what made him happy and he was, you know, doing all right, he had job security, fuck yeah, dude. Seriously, why the fuck? Why would you? Would you have that kind of problem if it was your fucking brother? And they were just killing it, dude? You're lying? I'm not. I'm literally not lying. I don't know why people feel this way. I mean, listen, I've here's the thing, dude. Like, I have a lot of respect for people that do sex work. I think it's like not an easy fucking job. There's a lot of shit you have to put up with. Very fucking competitive. And ultimately they're doing a awesome thing. You know what I mean? I think it's a beautiful thing. Do people forget you dated a sex worker? Yeah, there's a lot of new people in here that probably don't know. So yeah. Being a hoe for money isn't work. I mean, dude, with takes like that, you probably don't even have sex, but if you were, like, you're just doing it for free. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Most of you would love to be a hoe for free, motherfucker. Okay? Most of you would literally love for the opportunity to be a hoe for free. Most of you, even more of you, pay for it. Or fucking torrent it and crank off to it. Like, how do you think that gets made? You guys think it's so funny whenever people are always like, dude, fucking being a hoe, these women are whores, blah, 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 blah. It's like, how do you think porn gets made, dude? How? Do you think it just like fucking, is there a 3D printer somewhere where they're just like printing out pornographic scenes or something? Like, someone's doing it. Could you imagine if there was no sex work at all? Like, no porn. That would be fucking awful, dude. That would literally be awful. Hassan, I'm in New Jersey. This place sucks. Yeah, I know. I know, brother. It's not good. It's not good at all. It would literally be easier for me to live with myself if I was a sex worker instead of working for the U.S. military. True. No, it wouldn't, lol. Yeah, you're a boring person. If you think the world would be better off without any sort of fucking pornographic material, you suck. I wonder if anyone actually believes that. Like, what are you, are you a nun or something? Like, I don't understand. Like, who the fuck unironically is like, who the fuck unironically is like, oh man, dude, this would be so good. The world would be so much better if there was no fucking porn, dude. I've been there, chat. You don't want to be there. Okay, 15 years old. No porn. Porn is banned in Turkey. Fucking can't torrent on the family computer. I'm over here drawing titties that I have to jerk off to. You don't want to be down that bad, brother. Okay? You don't want that. You don't want that smoke. You don't want that life. Okay? I promise you, it's not good. Someone said ace people. This is a rather selfish take from an ace person if they're like, ew, we should ban porn. And even then, I don't think ace people would be fucking weird like that. Ace people still jerk off to porn sometimes.
You know what I mean? We're not gonna be good looking people forever. That pussy's not gonna sell forever. You understand? So you need to use what you got now to get ahead. Because this is not, I have a lot of mentors in this game because I'm very, very dedicated to it. Bishop is one. Shantae, who you need to talk to, is one. Kenny Red is one. These are my mentors. And like Shantae said, you know, this game is a temporary stepping stone to the rest of your life. This is not meant to be in this forever. I mean, we have this in us, so it's gonna be a part of us forever. But at some time, at some point, I can't be spending hours and hours up and riding down the blade and doing out calls and in calls, and that shit takes a toll on you, man, and it's stressful. It's stressful every time my woman goes out to the streets. Because I'm wondering, is something gonna happen to her? Is she gonna be okay? Is she gonna be safe? Is this the night that somebody robs her, rapes her, kidnaps her? So I'm always worried every time she goes out. Regardless of what these other niggas try to say. Because you got a million zillion niggas in this whole country that claim they pimps and think they pimps, but it might only be maybe 20 real pimps in the whole damn country. Now I'm exaggerating, but you understand what I'm trying to say. It may only really be 20 real pimps in the whole country. All these other motherfuckers that's talking this shit, you know, hey, because you got a lot of different viewpoints about what this game is about and how to play it, and you got your, you know, Bilbo, AKA Alfred Golson, is also another one of my mentors. And he broke it down and he said there's 52 different types of pimps. There's the white hoe pimp, there's the black hoe pimp, there's the six hoe pimp, there's the upper class.
This is critical pimp theory, dude.
You got all these different types of pimps. So you're gonna hear a lot of different theories when it comes to this game. You understand? But there is only a certain way that this shit is supposed to be played. And that way, to me, my philosophy and the philosophy that I believe in with other real pimps is that this is my woman. Like Kenny Red told you, a prostitute is like your wife. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't care any less for her than I would a woman that's not prostituted. You understand? I love her. You understand? I love her and I love what she does for me. Now, there's people that's watching this that say, nigga, you loving a hoe, nigga, that ain't pimping. I don't even want to hear that. You understand what I'm saying? Because if I'm with my cat or my dog long enough, I'm gonna develop love for it. You understand what I'm saying? So how could I not love this human being who is going out there taking a penitentiary chance for me?
Okay, like at least he's acknowledging that his hoes are human.
Going out there taking a life chance for me. She could lose her life at any minute. She could be raped, robbed. She could catch a disease, health problems. And then she comes back and she gives me all her money and trusts me
we got
to
a
do
woke
the right
pimp
thing
on our
with
hands,
the money.
boys.
Meaning, I'm giving you all my money. Why in the fuck are we still walking? Why in the fuck don't we have anything to eat? Why in the fuck are we not living in an apartment or a home or a house or something? So that's trust. She's trusting you to take her money and do what needs to be done for her and take care of her with it, right? So how could I not love that? How could I love anything other than that? So yes, I love her. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna love her, and hopefully she's gonna love me to a certain degree, but it's a different type of love. It's not a square's love, it's a pimp's love. It's not a square's love, it's a hoe's love. You understand? We have a whole different type of love because pimps and hoes are different creatures. We're different from the square world. So we love just like squares love, but we have a pimps and hoes love between us. We care for each other the same way, but we care in a pimp and a hoe fashion. We make up the...
Jeff Bezos, take notes, please. Weird champ. Yeah, I bet this pimp wouldn't fucking go out to space and then come back and be like, yo, I want to thank all my hoes. I bet he would take his hoes out to space if he went out to space.
The pimp and hoe community, the pimp and hoe lifestyle. You understand? If I have a baby, it's gonna be with a hoe because I'm not dealing with square bitches. I don't really deal with those square bitches. I don't even think I know none. I meet square bitches all the time in the streets and I got their numbers in my phone and I don't even fucking call them. You know, because my life is revolved around pimps and hoes.
What is the origin of pimping? I mean, you think it's been around for
they got a
hundreds
lot
of years,
they got a lot of different stories about it. You know what I mean? So they talk about the...
Do you think given a choice of making a similar effort, a woman would choose to continue to do sex work? Yes. I think some women would, yeah. Bro, you love fucking, right? I am going to assume you do. Most people do. Like, it's not that hard for, you know, it shouldn't be that hard to fucking recognize that, like, some people love to fuck and they like making money while they're fucking. Even in a non-capitalist society, yeah, like, I don't understand why everyone always says, like, in a post-revolution society there would be no sex work. Like, why not? Is there no need for fapping?
Bible. But when they talk about the Bible, they talk about how Sarah and Abraham and Hagar, and how Hagar was like a hoe and she ran off because Sarah ran her off and she ran into the wilderness and she started hoeing and blah, blah, blah. They didn't mention anything about no pimping. But at the same time, where there's a woman, there are gonna be men. You know, and she's gonna have a man somewhere. Now, if she's getting an income, whether it's from Burger King, whether it's from throwing rocks, or whether it's from selling pussy, surely she's gonna take care of her man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If she loves him. Now, they also have another theory that brings us further up. And this was a theory that was developed by older pimps and shit, where they said that slavery had a lot to do with the origin of pimping. You understand? They try to say that, you know, you have to understand that during the slave era, blacks were property of the white slave owners. So the white slave owner could come fuck on any of these women that he wanted to because they were his property. It wasn't rape. Even if she was married, even if she had a family on the plantation, he could fuck on which one he wanted. That's why we got so many mixed breeds today. That's why we got so many...
Okay, now this is literally critical pimp theory. Like, he's just straight up, this is what the fuck? You went from CPT to CRT, dude.
Light-skinned people and mulattoes, as they call it, today. Okay, but now the theory goes that once they freed the slaves, these white men still wanted to have sex with these women. But at the same time, now they're not your property anymore. Now you have to have permission to have sex with them. So now husbands and boyfriends and stuff like that, even though it was Reconstruction era, you understand? You got these men that saying, well, baby, go ahead and have sex with him because we broke.
Sorry for blowing out your ears. Me when I see a sandpiper on the beach and a live jellyfish.
It's standing right in front of me.
What is this video?
Look at me and this opportunity. It's standing right in front of me.
What does that even mean? I don't understand what that means. Oh, does that mean she wants to pee on me? She wants to pee on... She wants you to pee on her. She's willing to get stung for it. Oh, she wants me to pee on her. Oh, that's interesting. That's so strange, dude. You're supposed to pee on someone when they get stung? She said lunchtime. Lunchtime. Cool. Dude, I need to watch this Chet Hanks video. This pimp video is too long.
This is actually from Chris. I hear your birthday's tomorrow. Happy birthday, Leo gang. Let's go. I'm a Leo. Mine's the 4th. Let's go. Come on. So happy birthday. I hear you're a public defender. You're a Florida mom and an attorney for Ken Klippenstein. Well, hell yeah. Ken motherfucking Klippenstein. Or is it Stein? I don't know. But it doesn't matter because we're Leos. Mrs. Beth Borden. Beth Borden. Rhymes with Gordon. Thanks for the... I hear you like my tattoos. I appreciate you. Got to get some more. I'm actually getting another one on Friday. I'm getting a bad bitch on a Harley on my arm. That's actually what I'm getting. And keep laying... I'm going to keep laying tracks down so you guys can keep listening to my music. I got more stuff coming. Thanks a lot, Beth, for your support. I love you. Have a great birthday. Don't get too drunk. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. All right, have a great...
It doesn't really, that doesn't really mean much. You do everything, dude.
summer. Take care.
Like, what wouldn't Chet Hanks do? He would do everything. I'm pretty sure he does everything. Didn't he used to do cameos? Yeah, but it was fucking too much. Bossman Biden? Have you seen him threatening H3? Wait, what? He threatened H3? Why? Watch this.
Yo, y'all ever just chilling, then you have that one stretch that's just like...
What the fuck is this?
Yo, y'all ever...
I'll give you a 30-minute break for that one. I hate when people just send me like random fucking TikToks, dude.
We don't have shit. We got kids.
I only gave him 30 minutes because it was funny.
And shit, we don't have no money.
It was also not funny. On top of that, he would have been a
with
fucking weed.
Whitey, as they called him, no offense. But when they do go fuck with him, this time, go get something. Bring something home. Because he wants you. He doesn't want me. He's not calling me to the big house to come fuck on him. He's calling you.
I gotta pee.
So therefore, since he's calling you, he's already hooked on that pussy because he's been hooked on it for years when he was taking it from you. You understand? Now he can't take it legally anymore, even though they still were. They're not taking it legally anymore, so therefore now it's time to charge. And they say that at that time, the only motherfuckers that was really doing good at that time was really big shot gamblers, motherfuckers that was gamblers, and pimps. Those was the motherfuckers that had big horses at that time. They was riding big horses and they had big hats and they was fly. And they learned how to deal with prostitutes. They made prostitutes and they learned how to deal with them because once a woman becomes a prostitute, she thinks different. She looks at the world different and therefore she behaves different. Anyone who thinks different behaves different, even you. Once you start thinking a certain way, you start acting a certain way. So that's just life. So once these women became prostitutes, they began to think different and act different, and these men who were instructing them on how to go out there and get money learned how to deal with them. Now there's a certain way you have to deal with prostitutes. That game is what they're talking about when they say the book of game. But these dudes didn't write this down. They passed it down to the next generation, to their sons, their nephews. Hey man, this is how you deal with a prostitute. Blah, 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 blah. But now there's the next generation who added to it and they made it better. And then you got the next generation, because you're talking about the end of slavery. So you're talking about 1863, 1868, blah, blah, blah. Next generation, we talking about 1900. Next generation, we talking about 1930. Now 1920, 1930, here you got Iceberg Slim, pimping up a storm. You know, Iceberg Slim was born in 1918, right? By the time they had, I think, World War I, World War II, something like that, he was pimping great. But pimping, I'm talking about street pimping. No cell phones, no none of that. No hey baby, no back page, no.
Dude, this guy literally has a PhD in pimpology. I'm not even like, I know I joked originally and said like, lol, he's like doing critical pimp theory, but like he's literally Dr. Pimp. He brought it back to like slavery and all this other shit. Like, it's just crazy. Pimpology and hoenomics. This reconfirms my original take, which is that like all pimps have vibrant personalities. It's trickonomics. Yeah, except unlike Reaganomics, i.e. trickle-down economics, trickonomics is real. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Ludwig? You know what I mean? Was there ever a point in your life where you consider being a pimp? PhD nut?
None of that. Bitch, go get it. Come on back with it. That's all I can do is send you out there and trust you to come back with it. Because I'm your man. And with that money, I'm finna take care of you. And bam, they passed that down. And they passed it down again. And they passed it down. And now we here in this generation. But technology and all kind of shit has also fucked the game up. Because you got a lot of different theories and views. You got gorillas, which there has always been gorilla pimps. There's always been them. Even
so, what is a gorilla pimp? Like, gorilla pimp is the other guy that we watched, right? Who was like, I go gorilla sometimes. And like, the gorilla pimp is like when they beat the women, right? Like violent, like abusive. Like the last guy who was like, yeah, I fucking am violent and I, you know, burn cigarette butts on them and stuff like that.
Even though they don't really get respect from our circle, from real pimps, they don't really get respect. You understand what I mean? But you got all these different type of views, so shit is watered down. You know what I mean? And shit is changed. But there are still real stomped down, genuine 1,000% pimps and hoes out here in this community.
Is playing a trick for his watch or his wallet or stuff like that part of the game as well?
It's part of the game, but now the question is it condonable? Who condones it? You understand what I'm saying? Some dudes do that. You understand?
No, he's not saying gorilla pimp like in the shadows sneaking up and stealing hoes. He means gorilla. Like pimps that beat the shit out of their hoes. Kind of weird that I'm like fucking talking to keep saying hoes. It's a very strange thing. Hey, Haduk! Thank you for the raid, brother. We're learning about pimpology and trickonomics right now. For those of you impressionable CSGO fans, we're learning critical pimp theory. Okay, this is critical pimp theory 101.
Understand what I mean? Some dudes do that. Like Pimpsy told you. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna encourage a woman to do that, but if a woman comes along that has already learned that specialty and she's doing it, then I'm not gonna necessarily stop her. But at the same time, yeah, I would love for a woman to come with a new Rolex watch or this, that, and the other, but at the same time, that's just dangerous. And it's not only dangerous for her, it's dangerous for the community. Because here it is, my girls, let's just say hypothetically, my girl gets a trick and she robs him for his watch and his gold and his jewelry because he's drunk, coming from a party, whatever. He passes out, he wakes up, everything's gone. Now, when he goes back on that boulevard, he's looking for her, okay? She may not even be able to finish work that night, which she may not have to because she may have hit a big lick. But now, it wouldn't even be safe for her to stay out there because he's probably somewhere driving around looking for her. But here's where it becomes dangerous for not only her, but it becomes dangerous for the other females that's out there, the other bitches that's on the blade, my partner's bitches that's out. Because he's mad, so he don't give a fuck who he takes it out on. This bitch just robbed me. She took all my money, all my shit, ooh, she took advantage of me. He's feeling like a trick now, and he's feeling like a victim, right? So now, if he can't find my bitch who robbed him, he takes the next bitch and does something to her. Who knows how horrendous that might be? He might hurt her, he might rob her, he might rape her, he might stab her, anything. And this, you might be my best friend and these is your girls. And since he couldn't find my girl, he pulled up on your girl who has no clue that this shit has just happened to him. She's just trying to make a buck. And here it is, she jumps in the car with this dude and he goes through all the regular shit. Oh yeah, baby, get in, how much? Yeah, blah, blah. Oh, we're gonna go to my room and da-da-da-da. And next thing you know, he takes her to a room and now he hurts her. So that shit can bring bullshit to the game. You know what I mean? That's bullshit that I don't want to see that happen to my female, and I don't want to see it happen to no female, first of all, but I damn sure don't want to see it happen to mine, and I damn sure don't want to see it happen to none of my close partners, females out there. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, it's an iffy thing. Is that really what you want to do? You know what I mean? And then what happens when they get to calling the police? Because now, here it is, all these girls out here half naked on Figueroa and all these other streets, right? And the police just riding by. They see these girls, they know what these girls is doing, but they're not stopping them necessarily, you know what I mean? But now, if they're looking for a robbery suspect, now they're pulling bitches over. Now you see what I'm saying? So now you done made the shit hot. Now you done made the blade hot.
My man just dropped a fucking Addy, dude. He's like, yo, Figueroa, that's where the hoes are at. Oh, but yeah, he's just saying that, you know, the girls stealing stuff is not good because then the block is hot and it fucks up the business.
I don't know if that's really condonable. I don't really push that.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe in true love, or is there always money and security factored in?
Do I believe in true love, or is there always money and security factored in? Explain that a little more so I can answer it better.
Like, a girl hooks up with a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Are you drinking vodka? Yeah.
And how she feels when she's with him.
Yeah, it's called smart vodka.
Is the fact that he can provide something for her, or vice versa. She can provide something for him, or she's going to trade sex for money, basically. Is there always a trade-off of sex for money in every relationship? Or sometimes it's just pure love and there's nothing else?
I think women learn as little girls that they're valuable, to a degree. They know that, right? Not saying they're valuable to a degree, I'm saying they learn it to a degree, right? Pimps help them really understand it. But since women were 11 and 12, men have been approaching them sexually. Older men, all kind of shit, all kind of perverted shit comes out from women.
Dude. Nope.
I mean, from men that only women get to experience that men don't never see, right? So they learn that they can get something out of men, whether it's a ride, whether it's some candy, whether it's some money.
Oh, he's not saying it's a good thing. He's saying that it's just a thing that happens. Never mind. I just got outwoke by the fucking pimp, dude. Holy shit. 100% true as a woman? God damn it, dude. Dude, this is what happens, dude. This is literally... Yeah, he's just more woke than I am. I misunderstood what he was saying. Dude, I'm learning so much right now, dude. Dude, fucking pimponomics, dude. I mean, trickonomics. That's why he has the PhD. Yeah, I mean, he really does.
Whatever. They learn that, right? So they learn that once they put themselves around certain men, you know, men will kind of cater to them and shower them with certain shit. And their mothers teach them this, and their aunties, and they teach it and they run it down to them and shit like that. At the same time, women are emotional creatures and they do feel and they are attracted to certain men, they're attracted to certain looks, things like that. Everybody has their preference. So I believe that you don't necessarily have to have money or anything because look where we at, man. We downtown Los Angeles, right? You see whole couples in tents. You see whole couples in boxes living down here, but they thugging it out. He ain't got shit. He ain't offering her shit. He ain't selling drugs. He ain't pimping. He ain't shit. But she's with him. So it's something about him that she digs, that she fucks with. It's something that you can call it true love. You can call it something. But she fucks with him. I believe that the aspect or the addition of money and benefits and things, that can draw a woman closer. But I've had money and I've tried to talk to some broke bitches. And they wasn't giving me no play because they had their man. And they both was broke. Both of them was bums. And my money didn't impress the bitch enough to come with me. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily know if that's a guaranteed factor. I believe that is a factor in some aspects of life, and I do believe.
Bro, how is this dude like? This dude is like kind of right about a lot of these dynamics, more so than fucking like 90% of incels on Reddit, which is wild. Because he's literally just like a straight up pimp. Like, how the fuck? There are stars in every field.
Even true love, you know what I mean? And I'm talking about universal love. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about universal love. I'm talking about, you know, I could love you. You can love me. As men, I'm talking about as a friend. I'm sure there's a friend, a male friend, that if you found out he had a plane crash and died, you would be hurt. You'd be devastated. You understand what I'm saying? So love is universal. You know what I mean? And love is for everybody. You know what I mean? Love is for pimps. Love is for hoes. Love is for men, women, animals. Love is for everybody. You understand what I mean? And I believe that that's gonna happen regardless of whether you have money or, you know, things like that. I don't think that's necessarily an element that has to be there.
How many girls do you have in your stable, typically?
Well, right now, man, I'm retired. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm retired. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm just mentoring to the youth. I'm talking to younger dudes that's out there trying to get it. I'm still out here in the streets. You still see me.
But when you were active?
Oh, well, when I was active, I think the most girls I had was about 4. You know what I mean? I have 4 girls, and that in itself is a headache. You know what I mean? I was just reading something else. I think it was on Instagram. Somebody put all these pimps out here want to be deep until they got 4 girls, until they're being pulled 8 different ways by 4 different girls. You know what I mean? That shit's a headache. I mean, I've been in a situation where all the girls that came from work, I got them all in my car.
Bro, this guy, he's a pimp consultant, dude. There's a pimp gram. Dude, there's a fucking Instagram for everything, dude. I mean, it's like, I'd rather be on pimp gram than fucking QAnon shit. You know what I mean? What is this? Quartering? He's been staring at his cell phone for the last 4 minutes and hasn't said a single thing. Aw, quarter pounders in the chat, boys. What's up, quarter pounder? I guess that's what happens when you're fucking so bored and have no content that you just start watching me watch other YouTube videos. Nice to know. I rarely think about you at all unless someone links you in the chat. PMC Pimp Managerial Class.
And they all hungry.
When he's done peeing in his fucking basement, he just comes out here and he's just watching me watch pimps.
They all stink because they've been working. They all want to shower. One is like, get me home so I can shower. Another one's like, Daddy, I'm hungry. This one's hungry. That one's hungry. They all want to eat, but they all want to eat different shit. She wants Taco Bell. She wants Kentucky Fried Chicken. She wants Burger King. And this one is too fucking bougie to eat fast food. You understand? I don't eat fast food. I eat some real food. And or she's a vegetarian or some bullshit. So now what am I doing? Am I door dashing this shit home? Or what the fuck am I? Gotta drive to Taco Bell and drive here? But I'm gonna make sure they got what they want because these bitches just came in the house with, this bitch got 800, this bitch got 1,200, this bitch got 900. I mean, goddamn, I'm not gonna feed the bitches and I'm not gonna make them eat what the fuck they wanna eat. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make them eat what I want them to eat. You know, I'm gonna get you what the fuck you wanna eat. You know what I mean? But that shit becomes a headache at the same time. You know what I mean?
You have sex with your girls?
Oh, most definitely. Once again, I gotta speak on what Kenny Red told you when you answered that question. A prostitute is like your wife. If I'm not fucking my hoe, who else am I fucking? If I'm sitting here claiming that I don't fuck with square bitches, Because this is how we look at it. The world consists of pimps, hoes, and squares. That's it. Now you're gonna hear gang members and you're gonna hear drug dealers and them also refer to themselves as non-squares. And when we're in their presence, we'll allow them to have that. But between pimps and hoes, we feel like the world just consists of pimps, hoes, and squares. So if it ain't pimping and hoeing, it's square. So now I'm saying to you, if I'm claiming that I don't fuck with square bitches, then who's left? I'm not fucking no pimps. So it's only pimps, hoes, and squares. I'm not fucking squares and I'm not fucking pimps. So who else?
I mean, it's consistent, folks. He has a moral system, okay? And he exists within the boundaries of that moral system. And let me tell you something. Makes sense, dude. Pimp theory. Folks, it's consistent.
I'm gonna fuck. Who else am I have a baby by but my hoes? This is my family. This is my woman. And these are my women. You know what I mean? But like Shantae said, and I gotta speak on him, another one of my great mentors. Like he said, your dick belongs in your household, though. Don't have your bitch down on the blade selling pussy. Don't have your bitch on Backpage or wherever doing dates. And while she's out doing dates, you fucking the bitch downstairs that ain't gave you a nickel and yang money. That's just wrong. You just disrespecting her hoeing. As a pimp, you have the right to do that. You can do whatever the fuck you want to, but I consider that, and we consider that real pimp, consider that shit mispimping. What are you doing? You are disrespecting her hoeing in a way. Because here's a bitch that's dedicated to you enough to go out here and get you some money, and she got a pussy, you can fuck on her. You know what I'm saying? But yet you fucking the laundry lady downstairs that's got a whole husband that's giving her money to a whole nother motherfucker when this bitch is out here taking penitentiary chances for you. So, like he said, your dick belongs in your household. You know what I mean? And I damn sure try to keep mine in my household.
We're all a bunch of fucking squares in here, dude. Maybe some hoes too, but mostly just squares.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of outsiders.
I wonder if there's a single pimp in here. I know chat's gonna be like me, but like, let's be real. We all know you're not.
Will say that you guys are sex traffickers.
You know what? I think that's just a part of this new propaganda that they got going on. You know, Obama let a lot of the drug dealers out of jail, federal and state. You know what I mean? Freed up a lot of space. A lot of people been complaining about overpopulation of the jails and y'all not building enough schools, y'all building too many jails. So they start letting a lot of the drug, you know, they got light on the drug offenses. You are a white guy, but at the same time, I know you understand racial politics in this country. And slavery has never really ended. It was, you know, it was criminalized, but it never really ended. They always figured out a way to still enslave black men. Even after slavery was over, you had the sharecropping era, you know what I mean, which still was a form of slavery.
This dude is literally talking, whatever critical pimp theory, actual critical race theory, I'm losing my fucking mind, dude.
Now what we're doing is we're using incarceration as a form of slavery. Because blacks and Latinos make up the majority of the prisons in the United States, right? So now that you let all these drug dealers and shit out, you got all this space. Well, who are the majority of pimps? Black men. Yeah, you might get a Mexican pimp here. One of the great pimps that I know of, another person that I respect is white folks, who's a white boy that pimps astoundingly, right? But at the same time, they're the exceptions. The majority of pimps are black. So what better way is to criminalize that more than it already has been by taking something that was once called pimping and pandering that carried 2, 3, 6 years and turning it into something called human trafficking, where now it's carrying 12, 16, and 20 years. The minimum is 12. But what better way to get, okay, well, I got all these black men out here pimping. What better way to get them in jail? What better way to put them in jail? Oh, you're pimping, you're going to jail. We get us a human trafficking bureau, and we get a whole set. Now we take.
He said, "Fuck Ashton Kutcher." That's what he's saying, dude.
Taking that a step up from Vice, which they've always had a Vice department, but now we got a human trafficking bureau that specializes specifically on pimps and hoes and prostitution. Now we filling up the jails, like I said. When I first went to jail for pimping, there were no pimps in jail. I was probably like the only one. An older pimp told me, and he was in there for something else, but he ended up telling me, he said, "Hey man, I know young pimping, you know, you on fire for the pimping." He said, "But you need to stop telling these niggas you some pimping, man." You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I want everybody to know, nigga, I'm a pimp, nigga, I'm a pimp. You feel me? But at the same time, niggas like you say, pimping is looked down on. Especially by squares. Squares are intimidated by pimps because they feel like we got some kind of power over women that they don't have. They get insecure, it makes them insecure. Just like hoes intimidate square bitches. Because they feel like, oh, this bitch ain't gonna do nothing but have sex with my man. This bitch, I don't want that bitch around my man. I don't, it's a lot of intimidation factors there, right? So now when you go to jail, you got all these tough ass niggas in there talking about you a pimp. Oh, ain't that a bitch? Nigga, I got sisters. Nigga, I never pimp. Nigga, I got a mama. Nigga, I got daughters. You know what I'm saying? What type of shit is that?
By the way, for the record, I don't agree with that. I do think that human trafficking is very real. But many sex workers will tell you that 90% of the time, like the human trafficking bills that are put together are exclusively to target sex work and not necessarily like consensual sex work that normally should be decriminalized and legalized. That's what it captures for the most part. And then the 10% is like, and then the other 10% is like actual human trafficking. He's saying that his form of pimping is not human trafficking. But he's not alone in this. Like, I mean, even sex workers will tell you this as well. Just Foster being a great example of this. It's a hard conversation to talk about, though, because a lot of people fucking lose their shit. They're like, dude, what the fuck? You're talking about, like, child sex trafficking. Like, no, obviously, no. That's fucking horrible. It's the worst thing you can do. Is human trafficking and sex work the same thing? No, of course not, dude. No, obviously not, dude. One is, like, adults consenting to do something. And the other is like gross and illegal and horrible.
So my partner had to tell me like, pimping, these niggas ain't liking you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you went around talking all this pimp shit, bro. You need to leave that alone. Then they want to flip it about what a pimper do. Oh, I heard a pimper sell his own ass. If you don't have, all this ridiculous shit. Why I'm gonna sell my ass when I got a bitch that'll sell hers? That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? But they got a lot of negative aspects that they like to associate with this game. But you gotta understand, you had rapists, child molesters, and pimps all like damn near in the same category. I'm talking about like 1920s, 1930s. So it was horrendous to be a pimp. It was gross to be a pimp. But now, in our age, you got the rappers, and you got 50 Cent making his song Pimp, and you got Snoop Dogg commercializing pimping, and you got Sugar Free, and you got Bishop, and all these motherfuckers. So now it's fashionable to be pimps. You know what I mean? Now it's looked on as a good thing. So that's why you got so many knuckleheads getting in the game that don't know what the fuck they doing. They got a girlfriend and they like, oh, well, I just watched the video. I'm gonna be a pimp, baby. All you gotta do is stand right here on 83rd and Figueroa. You understand? And he don't know the first thing about taking care of a woman, because that's what this is about. This is about upgrading, uplifting, and loving and taking care of a woman who knows the value of her body and knows the value of herself. Because I hear women all the time, square bitches say, well, I would never fuck for money. I value my pussy more than that. My pussy is worth more than that. I said, well, do you value your house? She said, yeah. I said, do you value your car? I said, yeah. I said, well, would you give it to me for free? She said, hell no, I wouldn't. Well, why would you give me your pussy for free if you claim you value that? You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, my God. Oh, no. Okay. Listen. He's just held frame, boys. That's it. He just debate lorded. That woman is now one of his main hosts.
So it makes no sense. You see? So our job is to instruct her and teach her how valuable she really is. To teach her the fact that, baby, you can walk down the street. Baby, you should never be broke. Because pussy sell when cotton and corn won't. You understand what I'm saying? There's no reason in the world that a female should be hungry, that a female should be broke, because pussy sells. And the thing is, you're gonna fuck anyway. You're gonna fuck somebody. You're gonna fuck somebody, and the cool thing about it is you'll go to a motel, you'll meet some guy that you think is cute because he light skin, green eyes, long hair, whatever the fuck it is. You'll meet him, you'll go to the room, you'll suck his dick, you let him fuck you all night off a goddamn rhino pill, right? You'll wake up in the morning, give him some more head, and when the man come knocking at the door for the rent money at 11 o'clock, you or him ain't got no motherfucking rent money. Now y'all got all y'all bags walking down the street, but you broke, but you been well fucked. You've been thoroughly fucked. You may have busted a nut, you know what I mean, if he knew what he was doing. You understand what I'm saying? But bitch, you still broke. So why not do all that and still get paid so you can at least pay the rent? Bitch, you didn't commit it.
Dude, this is the greatest YouTube channel. I swear to God. Soft White Underbelly. These interviews are incredible, dude.
4 or 5 sex acts. You know how much money you could have got for all them sex acts? You done committed all these goddamn sex acts, bitch, and you can't pay the rent? Yeah, it takes a pimp to hip a bitch to that, to make her understand that. Like, bitch, that's ridiculous. To do something. So how much do you really value yourself when you gave it away for free? Being that you wouldn't give your house and your car away for free because you see value in that. But you'd give your pussy away for free, do you really value it? You understand what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about that. Those are my aspects of it.
One last question. What's the most important lesson you've learned?
Man, I've learned so many goddamn lessons, man, but one of the main lessons I've learned is communicate. Communicate with everybody, though. You understand what I'm saying? Communication. Communication is the rule of the nation. That's what they say. And you have to communicate with that female, and you have to understand. See, what's great about this is that when a person watches this video right now...
Damn, he's right. I'm going to be a hoe now. Bye, Hasan. Thank you. I'll try to watch on mobile. In between shifts, dude.
It's gonna be a bunch of shit. They're not gonna retain all the shit that I said, but the great thing about it is they can rewind it, and they can watch it again, and they can watch it again, so that they get more and more of the information that I am communicating, right? But when I'm talking to my woman, and I'm sending her to the street, or I'm sending her on a date, and I'm saying, baby, look, make sure you do this right, make sure you do that right, for your safety. For us, because I want you to come back to me. That's the main goal. I need you to get back. So I'm trying to communicate this to you. But I'm telling you a whole bunch of shit, but guaranteed she's probably only retaining about maybe, hopefully, 50, 60% of what you just told her. And she can't go back and rewind it unless you're gonna tape yourself talking to her, right? So you have to communicate with that female and communicate with her sometimes over and over, because I know girls say to me, okay, daddy, I know, okay, I've heard it, right? But I have to teach myself to communicate more and more and more so that you get it, so that you understand it, so that you're safe out there, so that you can go get the money, so that you can come back to me safely. So when communication is right, the nation is right. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I believe, man. You know what I'm saying? PNutty to Pimp, man, church.
PNutty, that was great.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Very interesting.
All right.
Dude, I don't know why I even do Chad Vice after this, dude.